Let's talk about electric vehicles. Just been cleaning the bike and it just made me think a little bit about it, and I've actually got a playlist of a lot of information on the EVs. Now you may think that the government's wanting to exchange out this motorcycle and your vehicle for an electric vehicle. That's not true. They're not looking at everyone having electric vehicles. For a start, a lot of people cannot afford them. I've got a lot of friends don't buy cars over $2,000. Insurance is going to be higher on the electric vehicles, and in England I think it's about $600 Australian higher than it would be insuring a standard car, because it costs so much more if something goes wrong with it. So the government wants you really to live in smart cities, in smart units within those cities where they monitor everything you do. And you catch the electric bus and you catch the electric trains. They don't want you to travel. You can tell that now. The price of electricity is going up, so they do not have enough electricity to run electric vehicles. The new charge systems in UK and other countries, in the UK they've announced that you'll charge your vehicle when the network is at its lowest, so that you won't be able to you will in emergency be able to charge from your home charger. If it's an emergency, you can override it. But what happens is, with these chargers you buy and put on your house and that, and pay an electrician to install, there's a new regulation that it's to work on off-peak. So what happens is you plug in overnight and it goes to off-peak. But one of the problems is, if the network is overloaded, and which naturally it's going to be as more electric vehicles are being charged overnight off-peak, it can turn yours off completely, stop the charge, or it can reduce the charge. So you wake up the next morning, you decide that you're going to travel from Sydney down to Ulladulla, and what happens is through the night they had to reduce your charge, so you don't really have that charge. They're having heaps of problems in England. The police who are driving these electric vehicles, the criminals are getting away because they're just running out of electricity. Tow a trailer or a caravan and you're going to find it's going to be broke. Your trip's going to be broken up a lot getting it charged. One of the big things you probably haven't heard is, because of the weight of the electric vehicles, it's going to cost you a lot more in tyres, because the tyres wear out more. So what I've done is I've put a playlist, which I've got the list down below, the links, to tell you why and what's happening in the electric vehicle world. So I'm hoping that you'll go and check. There's a young lady who's had a electric vehicle for a number of years, and she'll tell you some of the issues she's found that they don't tell you. Plus, you're using dirty electricity in the majority of the countries anyway, because what they do is when they tell you about the electric vehicle, they kind of put it in a box so that they don't talk about the manufacturing costs, they don't talk about the cost of the batteries, the cost on the environment, digging out the minerals to create the batteries. They don't tell you, just like they're burying the wind turbines because they can't do anything about them, they can't recycle them, so they're burying them. I've got a friend in town who owns a wrecker, he's a wrecker, and he won't accept electric vehicles because he can't do anything with the battery. And he was saying that people won't be buying the electric vehicle even if you own one, or if you're second hand, for the reason is the batteries are so expensive. There's a lot of good reasons to buy an electric vehicle. I wouldn't mind one to save on petrol at the moment, on diesel going into town and back. There's just so much they're not telling us about electric vehicles. So I want you to have a look, because it's explained by the experts in the series of links of these YouTube videos below. If you live off the grid, forget the electric vehicle, because you won't be able to charge it off the grid. It's just not going to be possible to keep your fridges and everything else going if you're charging these vehicles. So I ask you again to watch these professional videos, the link below. Enjoy the rest of your day.